speed on how most people pursued the healing, awakening, and transformation of reality, I began noticing themes emerging that revealed cracks throughout a crumbling, outdated spiritual paradigm. This inspired an insatiable desire to provide each human being with the profound spiritual experiences I had been encountering throughout my life. While a spiritual journey has always been a fundamental transition from ego to soul, I began to see how those in search of truth weren't necessarily exploring it from the soul's perspective. Instead, many facets of inner growth were explored from the ego's point of view. In my first book, Whatever Arises, Love That, I explained the nature of ego as the imaginary identity of an overstimulated nervous system. Such patterns of overstimulation get created in our early years of development by subconsciously believing we'll be more liked by others if we are more like others. This creates a psychological cocoon of human conditioning for the soul to inhabit until it is ready to awaken and expand into the light of its highest potential. Suffice it to say, the ego is the limiting beliefs, self-defeating choices, and narrow viewpoints of dormant consciousness. As consciousness begins waking up, limiting beliefs dissolve, self-defeating choices no longer resonate, and narrow viewpoints are exchanged for more expansive perspectives. The purpose of our evolution is to shift out of ego and into the brightness of the soul, but it is often misconstrued when we are under the impression that ego and soul are separate. While the ego and soul can exist as two different experiences, they are both aspects of an omnipresent source of divine intelligence. Such a truth highlights the interconnectedness of the universe that unites all things as one, no matter how separate they seem or how much distance exists between them. While the ego is the soul in its most dormant state of incubation, the soul is a fully embodied expression of source energy. Between these two aspects, a spiritual journey unfolds. In order for a spiritual journey to offer the most rewarding experiences, the question remains, is it being explored from the ego or the soul's perspective? If one pursues spiritual growth from the standpoint of ego, they are bound to remain in ego no matter how much inner work they complete. If one learns how to evolve from the soul's perspective, more vivid experiences of life can occur. Since the soul is a conscious expression of source energy, it resonates with a depth of clarity that is as harmonious, inclusive, and kind as it is direct, effective, and potent. In response to meeting so many energetically sensitive beings, whose paths only seem to make them more doubtful, ashamed, and critical of themselves, I realized the importance of a heart-centered path to liberate our true innocent nature from any degree of spiritual bondage. Out of the Inner War. Everything is here to help you is an emotionally supportive way of shifting out of the inner war of ego and into the illuminated presence of soul. Since the ego is the unconscious behavior of limiting beliefs, self-defeating choices, and narrow points of view, the inner war being resolved is an evolutionary necessity of integrating the ego, which helps us purge the patterns of human conditioning that often make us feel like victims of our circumstances instead of pioneers of an awakening humanity. To assist in ending the inner war in the most nurturing way, this book has been created to explore the most crucial levels of the soul's expansion with clarity and ease. From cultivating our highest divine attributes and balancing out inner masculine and feminine energies, to transforming our relationships through the gifts of spaciousness and self-love. Our journey together guides us beyond each sticking point and into the joy of our deepest heartfelt surrender. This book also includes engaging questions to contemplate throughout each chapter, as well as energetically encoded mantras and repeat after me statements to activate and awaken life's unlimited potential. While many insights offered throughout this book may seem to click magically into place, others may challenge layers of ego or the density of inner stagnation that may not be ready to be unraveled. With love leading the way, the ecstasy of venturing beyond all boundaries and barriers becomes less overwhelming, less exhausting, and more exciting and instinctive. One compassionate step at a time, the truth of our eternal nature can be revealed without needing to be anything else, but exactly as we were born to be. Section 1.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.